Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi. We're also live in all 16 regions on over 30 affiliates, including Radio Max, Takrady, Volta Premier Ho, KTU Radio Koforidua, and Ganga FM Jerpa. We're live on X Spaces, Facebook live stream, and My Joy online interactive app. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank, the only water storage tank with a level indicator where Duraplus goes, water flows. This afternoon, transport unions urge drivers not to increase fares until a determination of proposed fare hikes is approved despite recent increments in petroleum products.
We'll come out with a sound percentage of which our members will embrace. The passengers should not blame anybody as such.
Also, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers is warning of more hikes in the coming days as the cedi struggles against the dollar as the world market price of crude soars.
In times when prices are favorable, we could have the full stream of taxes. But in times when prices are so bad that if we allow the pumps to just adjust, everybody will have to pay so much. Cost of living baselines will go up.
Also in this bulletin, uneasiness at the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation as changes at the top reveals deep cracks in management of the entity. And maximum police protection for the child married off to the Bobu Wolomoshiche in what has been described as unlawful as the police questions all parties involved.
Betrothal is even a criminal offense. So betrothal is any kind of form. We are not looking at whether to the human being or to the deity.
We have details of that. Also, the Further State uncovers how some highly connected persons receive double scholarships to the detriment of others in its latest expose on the Scholarship Secretariat.
She got 2 scholarships in the same year.
The same year?
Yes, and even with this one.
Who is this?
Paula. That's the name. And then the name is here again, in the same year.
Oh, what if they are twins?
We'll bring you details of that and tell you who is getting what, plus reactions from stakeholders calling for the selection process to be reviewed.
In every society, it is always the collective thinking that opportunities be provided for those who don't have. And so scholarships should be targeted at them.
I think a scholarship legislation is so eminent.
I think they should identify the gaps our human resource needs.
We have sports.
Dreams FCI historic semi-final berth in the CAF Confederation Cup as they take on Stade Malien.
And later in the bulletin, Ghana's rap Dr. Nyamekye has disclosed how his hit album Made in Ghana was influenced by his battle with depression.
I became depressed. So it was immediately after that I made the Made in Ghana album.
Wow.
Yes.
These are more with me, Maame, Nyamekye, Thompson. We are a home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please stay for details. Now, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, has directed its members not to increase transport fares, at least for now, until a meeting to determine the level of increment comes off. Following the reversal of the suspension of the Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy on petroleum products, drivers who are already feeling the pinch of the increments have accused the NPA of being insensitive. But the leadership of the GPRTU says they are not in a rush to effect increment. Director of Industrial Relations Alhaji Moro Inusaba says a meeting to agree on the percentage will come off next week.
Whatever decision we arrive at, and the Transport Ministry are also there to defend we most oftenly sit with them, argue on whatever decision we have taken. Yes, insurance premium was here, it has gone up by this margin. You know, we don't run transport with only fuel, but fuel plays most important.
The claim is that it plays about 30% of your operational cost.
I will even give it 40%.
40%.
And give the rest, the other. We have documentation of insurance premium,
spare parts,
this permits, etc., etc. We have lubricant spare parts also playing its role. So we have to visit all these issues and put it in one basket. God willing, I strongly believe we will come out with a sound percentage of which our members will embrace. The passengers should not blame anybody as such.
So until the Wednesday meeting and then the formal communication, nobody should increase fares?
For now, no, not at all. We should manage, and now if you increase it and you come up with about 10% and we decide to come out above that percentage, what are you going to do? You are going to create enmity between you and your clients. You'll be fighting yourselves. And if you decide to come up with something and the public says, no, we are not privy to that, it's going to create another problem. So we'll plead with our membership or the entire professional driving society to exercise patience so that we'll look at the other side of the coin and come up with something better which will benefit all of us. Then we'll move on.
Well, the Executive Director of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoah, is urging government to undertake reforms in the petroleum pricing formula.
You see, we have suggested this time without number that you need a dual pricing formula should be considered. Now, considering dual pricing formula is to say that, look, in times when prices are favorable, we could have the full stream of taxes, right? But in times when prices are so bad that if we allow the pumps to just adjust, everybody will have to pay so much. Cost of living baselines will go up.
Inflation,
and I have repeated this time without number that government is the single largest consumer in the economy. So once fuel goes up, everybody that depends on government for fuel to be able to go about their normal day-to-day work would simply have to pay more, and that will hit government's expenditure bottom. And so these increases, it would inconvenience the private person, but I mean, albeit for a short period. The government will have to find money to pay women across board.
Well, in the midst of this is the $3 billion IMF program and the conditions attached to it. Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School, Godfred Bokpin, says any attempt by government to subsidize petroleum products will be dire for the economy.
Long ago. There are so many things not going in our.
We apologize for that wrong file. Well, we'll stay a while longer on fuel and related issues. And Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, Opoku Awiniyi Dankwa, has resigned from his position as CEO. In a letter addressed to President Akufo-Addo, he expressed his respect for his office, his appointer, while announcing his decision to step down from his position at GNPC. My colleague Elton Brobe joins me in studio with more on this. Elton, what reason did he give for his resignation?
Well, a lot, Maame. First, he's been at the helm of affairs at GNPC. He highlights his effort to implement transformative policies aimed at advancing the interests of the nation and propelling GNPC towards sustainable growth and development. He described his tenure as an honor and emphasized his commitment to the evolution of Ghana's energy sector. He pointed out that an atmosphere of misinformation and misunderstanding surrounded the transformative policies he championed, and which made it increasingly untenable for him to continue effectively in his role as chief executive of GNPC. Despite his earnest effort to uphold the integrity and objectives of the GNPC, he noted that certain misperceptions have clouded judgment and undermined trust. And for that reason, he couldn't continue any longer as GNPC chief executive. He emphasized the importance and support and trust from all stakeholders for GNPC to drive and fulfill its mandate. But despite all the things that he had, mistrust, misrepresentation, misperception, clouded judgment, it made it impossible for him to continue as CEO of GNPC.
But is there a backstory to this?
Well, remember some time back there was allegation that he had made plans to increase his salary to a certain figure, which incurred the wrath of some workers of GNPC. We also been told that certain individuals at the presidency were not happy with the way he was handling GNPC and recommended his removal. So he was given the option to resign or be sacked, and he decided to resign.
Well, do we know who is at the helm of affairs now?
So last night we got another correspondent from the presidency which appointed Mr. Joseph Dagzi, who went on an early retirement in December last year to now replace Mr. Opoku Dankwa. Now, part of the letter reads from the president, I'm pleased to inform you that the president has appointed you to act as CEO of GNPC pending receipt of the required advice of the Honorable Minister of Energy, given in consultation with the Public Services Commission. The appointment letters signed by the Secretary to the President, Nana Bidie Asante, dated 3rd April. Now, he's expected to assume office on May 2nd, 2024 in acting capacity.
Thank you, Elton. Moving away now to Nungwa, government is providing maximum police protection for the minor married off under controversial circumstances to the Bobu Wulomo Shiche at Nungwa here in the Greater Accra region. The purported marriage received widespread criticism after a video surfaced online showing the Wulomo's marriage to the 12-year-old girl, Na Okromo. Now, the traditional marriage ceremony took place on Saturday, March 30, 2024 in Nungwa, sparking outrage and debate. The Ministry of Information has a statement on the latest development, and my colleague Kweku Asante joins me with more. Kweku, what's the background and does the statement provide this?
Well, the statement details all the things that have happened. It says that government has noted with concerns the news of the alleged marriage of a child to the Gboguwulo Meshiche on the 30th of March, and in line with the constitutional and statutory duty to protect the Ghanaian child, government, through the Ministry for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, as well as the Interior and Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, have been taking certain decisions. First, the child has been taken by the Ghana Police and the Ministry of Gender and Children to a place of safety. She's doing well and has been visited by the Minister Designate and other officials from the ministry. The Social Welfare Department under the Gender Ministry has made available counseling and other resources, including the provision of a medical doctor. And then one caseworker has now been assigned to the case, among others, to ensure that all protocols regarding the maximum protection of the child are adhered to. So that is the statement coming in from the Information Ministry.
Thank you, Kweku Asante. Meanwhile, the Deputy Commissioner of Shraj, Mercy Labi, says under no circumstances must any child be married off.
The Children's Act has criminalized early marriages, and it goes on even to say betrothal is even a criminal offense. So betrothal is any kind of form. We are not looking at whether to the human being or to the deity. The law says betrothal in any kind of form. So when we receive such complaints, we have to investigate and rescue the child from the marriage. And we give the prosecution, because we don't have prosecution powers, we give the prosecution to the police. So our main concern is to rescue these children from these marriages, to stop the violation.
Mercy Labi is Deputy Commissioner of Shraj. Away from that, it only gets worse with the Scholarship Secretariat. The latest revelations from the Fourth Estate's investigation indicates that not only are scholarships going to highly connected applicants, but they're receiving double packages to the detriment of those who may not be highly connected in society or politically. The Fourth Estate's data showed at least 17 people benefited multiple times, while others struggled to even receive their stipends and fees. My colleague Fred Smith gives more details. Fred, what did the Fourth Estate find out?
Well, the Fourth Estate said at least 10 individuals received multiple scholarships in 2019 and 2020, with amounts ranging between 13,250 and 55,000 British pounds per school to cover tuition and living expenses, and 7 others were granted 2 different scholarships within the same year, either in different countries or in the same country.
And did they mention these persons?
Well, one such beneficiary is Sydney Osewusu, who received £28,330 in 2019 to cover his living expenses and tuition for MSc degree in management at the Brunel University in London. Sydney Osewusu also received £15,750 British pounds for his MBA in business administration at the University of the West of England in Bristol the following year. Another beneficiary, is Kiev Kuku Kito, who received $38,475 for an MA in design management at Savannah College in the United States in 2019. The following year, Mr. Kito again received 14,500 British pounds for an MA in Visual Communications at the University of Derby in the UK. The rest of the beneficiaries in this category can be found on the website of the Fourth Estate.
Thank you, First Smith. But when the Fourth Estate pointed out these concerns, this is how Registrar Dr. Kinsley Aiman responded. Listen to their interaction.
People who are beneficiaries of double scholarships.
How? Can you show me that? Because hardly will you have one person doing two programs at the same time.
We have confirmed some.
One person doing two programs.
Two different programs.
At the same time.
For subsequent years.
But
so the person 2019 gets a scholarship, and then 2020 gets a scholarship.
Yeah, if the person has completed, there's a need for further, and we can award.
But even with the example that we give you, she got 2 scholarships in the same year.
The same year?
Yes, and even with this one.
Who is this?
Paula. That's the name. And then the name is here again. In the same year.
Oh, what if they are twins?
The same name.
But twins bear the same name. So.
And that was the Registrar Dr. Kinsley Aiman interacting with a member of the Fourth Estate. Meanwhile, the Director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Kote, noted that multiple scholarship is illegal.
Well, if one completes one and then pursues another one and is going to add value, that's different. But where you are giving double scholarship, I don't think the law allows us to receive double pay or double salary. Auditor General will not allow that. Similarly, you cannot receive double scholarship. And again, it boils down to priority. I mean, to what extent are these people, whatever scholarship we are giving for this double scholarship or double programs, going to bring or add to the Ghanaian economy? If they are specialists, that you need somebody who may be specialist in 2 areas, and if that person gets those 2 qualifications, is going to bring him back to support the economy, that is fine. But
Meanwhile, Deputy Ranking on the Education Committee in Parliament, Dr. Clement Aak, believes it is time the selection process is reviewed.
We know that we live in a society where some have and some don't have. So we speak about the haves and the have-nots. And in every society, it is always the collective thinking that opportunities be provided for those who don't have to also be able to survive, thrive, and contribute their quota. And so scholarships should be targeted at them. So when you just say, as you have said, that all you need to be a Ghanaian and to be able to provide evidence of admission, and that should be a basis for you to get a scholarship, I reject that definition, because that then creates room for an abuse of the scholarship scheme itself.
Away now to some politics. Professor of Political Science Ransford Jampo has described the alliance between independent presidential aspirant Alan Tremanting and a former presidential candidate Dr. Foster Abusakar as a potent third force that can break the NDC and NPP duopoly. The alliance, named the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, ARC, aims at aggressively mobilizing Ghanaians from across the country, particularly youth and women, to elect the first independent candidate as the President of Ghana. More from Professor Jampo shortly. First, listen to Dr. Sakara, a party to the alliance, who says this coalition will find the solutions to Ghana's problem.
The move to form that coalition is a direct response to the urgent need, one, to respond to the crisis that faces us as a country with a different alternative based on the realities in front of us. The second issue is that the people themselves are yearning for an alternative, and that has informed the formation of this alliance.
Well, Professor Ransford Jampo is cautioning the 2 major political parties not to be complacent, as this alliance can end their dominance of the local political scene.
Alan certainly isn't going to be a walkover in the 2024 election. When some of us, after analyzing the happenings in the MPP, predicted his exit from the party, some very ignorant, self-seeking, self-perpetuating and self-aggrandizing political toddlers in the MPP thought we didn't know what we're saying. And the man is recruiting many young people now across the length and breadth of the country, Ghana, under the yellow army christening.
And he's not holding rallies, but he is visiting marketplaces, talking to market women and men, and he's talking to ordinary people. And so he's not going to be a pushover.
But the governing New Patriotic Party is unfazed by this alliance that it could threaten their political fortunes. According to the Director of Communications for the party, Richard Ahiagba, the NPP is focused and doing all it can to break the eight.
The thing about it is that they are forging their own electoral strategy, and for us, we are focused on forging our strategy. And I believe that when all is said and done, the December 7th election will belong to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP. That's what our preoccupation is, and we are working hard to ensure that that is the reality.
Well, in a related development, all 9 persons who picked forms to contest the NPP primary for the Ejiso constituency by-election have filed their nominations. 4 of the aspirants are women. Former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nantiti, who was the last one to file, pulled a huge crowd on the day. Nana Yaojima has a wrap.
All 9 individuals who picked nomination forms to contest the elections have completed the filing process. The 4 women aspirants made a bold statement by making an early appearance at the NPP office. Maame Ya Abuaje, who once contested the Ayawaso West Wogon primary, was first to submit her forms.
It's about experience, it's about integrity, it's about who can do the job. So I don't believe in, spending money and buying people all because you want to be an MP.
Wife of Bono Regional Chairman of the NPP, Portia Echampon Abronye, is prepared to make a statement in the election.
I am capable, determined to listen to my people and to put them where they also want to be.
Popularly known as Ejosu Broni, Abena Pokria Amwa Boaite is hoping to be lucky in her 5th attempt.
So we need someone who is very strong, very viable, who knows the terrain, knows the people, what they want.
Presiding member for Ejosu Municipal Assembly, Helena Mensah, was flanked by her assembly members as she takes another step in her quest to become MP.
From delegate, assembly member, presiding member, 3 terms assembly member, and 2-term presiding member.
Contribution I made specifically to this constituency. You are all living witnesses to the sterling performances I put up.
Even before the vetting is scheduled for Saturday, the aspirants have started their campaigns in earnest. For Joy News, Nana Yaojima, Ejoso.
And you're listening to the Midday News live on Joy 99.7 FM and over 30 affiliates in Ghana's 16 regions. We'll take a break. When we return, we have sports, and Ghana's rap doctor Ochame Kwame has disclosed how his hit album Made in Ghana was influenced by his battle with depression.
I became depressed. So it was immediately after that I made a Made in Ghana album. Wow. Yes.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Just like that Sochi Wachi, that's exactly what Aquaba Magic gives you. Enjoy rich Ghanaian stories, like the 2nd season of the legendary Inspector Bediako, the captivating Madame, and so much more on DSTV channel 150 and GoTV channel 102. Aquaba Magic, dear. Enjoyment and kazankasa. Now available on DSTV Access and GoTV Plus. Aquaba Magic, Ghana's most loved storyteller.
Showtime! Good life time! Paddy, how is your good life?
Hey, before you attack that sumptuous variety of foods with Toto, do yourself a favor.
Wash your hands with soap under running water, your bowl before you eat, and at all other critical moments. That is,
before you cook, after you visit the toilet, change your baby's diaper,
and when you return home from anywhere.
Let's all come aboard Good Life by washing our hands with soap under running water and at all other critical moments to keep the germs away from our family. Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. Good Life from Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID.
Welcome back. We have sports. Mubarak.
Yes, hi, Maame. Now, Dreams MC are on the brink of securing a historic semi-final spot in the CAF Confederation Cup. The still believed side will face Stade de Malien in the second leg on Sunday, having already secured a 2-1 victory in the first encounter. We can now hear from their midfielder, Ishmael Dede.
No, it's not going to be an easy game. It's very, very tough. So, we getting an away win there doesn't make our head big, but it's making us strong for us to come here and prove to Ghana that we are the best, and we need to go for it. We need to go on them hard, because this time around they'll be coming very hard on us because we had an away win there, so we're preparing so hard. And thank the fans, and I want to thank them so much because they've been there since day one, and we want to urge them to come on Sunday and come and help us, because if they are not there, I don't think we'll be playing good football. So we plead on to them. They should come in their numbers and come and support.
So the game comes off at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi at 4 p.m. and there will be analysis on game plan at 1:15 p.m.
Do make it late. And the National Peace Council has revealed it has engaged all stakeholders in the electoral process to implement major reforms ahead of the 2024 elections. Among these is the change to the declaration of the constituency level elections. Under the current regulations, constituency results must be gazetted by the EC, after which whoever has any grievance has 21 days to proceed to court. Here's Chairman of the Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi.
In terms of adjudicating of parliamentary election cases, the issue was when is election declared, or when is the winner declared. Now, in the current regulation, the LI that regulates the election results are declared at the polling station and the constituency. And then the EC must gazette the results within a certain time frame, and after the results are gazetted, you have 21 days to file whatever case you had. Now, the gazetting of the results, even though it's the work of the EC, is actually not in their hands.
Well, the Ghana Boundary Commission is raising concerns about encroachment along the buffer zone, an international boundary line between Ghana and Burkina Faso, caused by commercial activities and private development taking over the area. The Commission is considering the possibility of erecting a fence spanning about 4 kilometers or more along the boundary line at Paga to tackle this problem. We'll hear from the outgoing Upper East Regional Minister Affairs, Commissioner General of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kotia, says the practice is against international law.
Encroached, and we have built up areas, indeed, even built up areas surrounding the boundary pillars, which is against international law. So this is very fundamental, and we need to see how best we can resolve. So as a result of that, we invited our Burkinabe counterparts to come, and then we'll have a first-hand observation. We'll walk through and see practically what is happening, and we'll be able to see how we could mitigate that problem.
Well, outgoing Upper East Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu says the encroachment of the international boundary line and buffer zones is not limited to Paga.
I think that this problem in Paga here is not the only problem that we have in the region. I remember last year or 2 years ago, we were somewhere in the Pusga area trying to resolve this same problem.
Well, depression is a period nobody would ever love to encounter at any point in their life. But Ghana's rap Dr. Nyamekye is one of the few who conquered this when he was about to hit 40. He revealed how his hit album Made in Ghana was birthed as a result.
Encountering depression is a phase nobody wishes to face. It easily breaks the faint-hearted, but the strong ones sometimes heal, pick up the pieces, and bounce back stronger and better while dealing with daily happiness. Ghana's rap doctor, Nyamekye, is one of the few who conquered his rap battle with depression when he was about to hit 40 years. In an interview on Joy Prime's Prime Morning, Nyamekye recounted his recovery process, birthing his hit album, Made in Ghana.
I became depressed.
Wow.
Yes, and when I became depressed, then the doctors gave me medication. Oh, you are thinking all the time. I sat down quietly and I went into meditation.
And that takes us to Max and Jackie. Jackie, where's your partner?
Well, I think he's at the Boundary Commission. But a lot is trending. Maame, we have hashtag Doing So is back. But then, interestingly, most of our musicians are trending today. We have Jackie and Black Sherif. They have new songs out. But Black Sherif's song, Shut Up, that's the title. Very controversial. People have been talking about it. This user says that when you listen to Black Sherif Shut Up whilst driving, and all of a sudden you feel like you are a character in Fast and Furious. So let's take a listen to that.
Man, no, if you do, I'm finished.